Hello there, Mary Farias here with 5 minutes is better than nothing of personal development. We are on chapter 9, Persistence, in my book, How to Study Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So I'm going to finish off the chapter today with one day because it is a topic that just spans from now until the end of the chapter. So we're on page 235, The Last Great Prophet, reviewed by Thomas Sugru. Muhammad was a prophet, but he never performed a miracle. He was not a mystic. He had no formal schooling. He did not begin his mission until he was 40. When he announced that he was the messenger of God bringing word of the true religion, he was ridiculed and labeled a lunatic. Children tripped him and women threw filth upon him. He was banished from his native city, Mecca, and his followers were stripped of their worldly goods and sent into the desert after him. When he had been preaching 10 years, he had nothing to show for it but banishment, poverty, and ridicule. Yet, before another 10 years had passed, he was the direct dictator of all Arabia, ruler of Mecca, and the head of a new world religion, which was to sweep to the Danube, to the Pyrenees, before exhausting the impetus he gave it. That impetus was threefold: the power of words, the efficacy of prayer, and man's kinship with God. His career never made sense. Muhammad was born to impoverished members of a leading family of Mecca. Because Mecca, the crossroads of the world, home of the magic stone called the Kaaba, great city of trade and the center of trade routes, was unsanitary, its children were sent to be raised in the desert by the Bedouins. Muhammad was thus nurtured, drawing strength and health from the milk of vicarious mothers. He tended sheep and soon hired out to a rich widow as leader of her caravans. He traveled to all parts of the Eastern world, talked with many men of diverse beliefs, and observed the decline of Christianity into warring sects. When he was 28, Khadijah, the widow, looked upon him with favor and married him. Her father would have objected to such a marriage, so she got him drunk and held him up while he gave the paternal blessing. For the next 12 years, Muhammad lived as a rich and respected and very shrewd trader. Then he took to wandering in the desert, and one day he returned with the first verse of the Quran and told Khadijah that the archangel Gabriel had appeared to him and said that he was to be the messenger of God. The Quran, the revealed word of God, was the closest thing to a miracle in Muhammad's life. He had not been a poet, he had no gift for words, yet the verses of the Quran, as he received them and recited them to the faithful, were beautiful or better than the verses which the professional poets of the tribes could produce. Thus, to the Arabs was a miracle. To them, the gift of words was the greatest gifts. The poet was all powerful. In addition to the Quran, and all said that all men were equal before God, that the world should be a democratic state, Islam. It was this political heresy, plus Muhammad's desire to destroy all the 360 idols in the courtyard of the Kaaba, which brought about his banishment. The idols brought the desert tribes to Mecca, and that meant trade. So the businessmen of Mecca, the capitalists, of which he had been one, set upon Muhammad. Then he retreated to the desert and demanded sovereignty over the world. The rise of Islam began. Out of the desert came a flame which would not be extinguished, a democratic army fighting as a unit and prepared to die without wincing. Muhammad had invited the Jews and Christians to join him, for he was not building a new religion. He was calling all who believed in one God to join in a single faith. If the Jews and Christians had accepted his invitation, Islam would have conquered the world. They didn't. They would not even accept Muhammad's innovation of humane warfare. When the armies of the Prophet entered Jerusalem, not a single person was killed because of his faith. When the Crusaders entered the city centuries later, not a Muslim man, woman, or child was spared. But the Christians did accept one Muslim idea, the place of learning, the university. All right, well, that's all for today. I just wanted to finish off that chapter. And the idea behind Napoleon Hill's including the story of Muhammad was that he was a great leader despite the fact that so many people ridiculed him and thought he was a lunatic. He was on his showing his desire. He was persistent in following his given desire. And we have to understand that our desires, and this is in Neville Goddard's words, desires are promises from God. When we have a desire, they are good. So think about that the next time you have a desire and then question it. Should I have this desire? You should have this desire because it is from within. And from within is from spirit, and spirit is always good. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.